Welcome. This your boy KCPL, King Self for Life Wrestling and Takes. It's WrestleMania Day, y'all. We gotta talk about it. I watched it. Ring of Honor SuperCard of Honor 2023 was a solid pay-per-view. Unfortunately, the only thing people are gonna talk about is what happened to Dante Martin. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part, ladies and gentlemen. The spot was a avoidable spot. They did not need to do it. They did not need to do the stupid spot. Now look, now my man Dante is out. Boy. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be 1,000% with you, man. I'm not like all these other AEW hardcores who run around here talking about Ring of Honor is the top-notch company that they wish AEW would. No, it's not. Ring of Honor to me is mainly just about matchups. Like, just they have like maybe there's less storylines going on in Ring of Honor than there are on Dynamite. And I know I'm gonna get some flack from the AEW hardcore heads, but it is what it is. I told y'all I keep it 100% over here on KCPL Wrestling Takes. I'm as serious as I can. I don't come on here to bash AEW. I don't come on here to hate on AEW. I just come on here to tell the honest to God truth. If you don't want the truth, you can go listen to a Joe Smo that's going to sit up and deride the company all day. I seen fools online deriding everything that was coming off this pay-per-view, from everything on the pre-show to date, and everything that happened on the pay-per-view, including the spot. Ladies and gentlemen, less is more. I don't get carried away when certain matchups get announced. So these two are wrestling, Joe. I don't get off like that. It's a lot of people, especially, unfortunately, it's a lot of these AEW hardcore heads. They get off to that. When a match get announced, it's going to be on the pre-show. They go, that's how they do. No. I need a freaking story. If you want me to give a care about a pay-per-view, the storyline got to be there. And you're going to say, oh, but you don't. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Ring of Honor, the way how it's presented, it's a 2-hour show. There's nothing but matches. There's like maybe 15% story development that happens on there. I watched 2 episodes of the show. I'm telling you what I saw. And all I seen was wrestling matches. I really didn't see no story development, no nothing. Now, kudos to Nigel McGuinness being added. I think that's a great move from Tony Khan. You got one of the greatest, the second of the greatest duo to ever come out of WWE, Nigel McGuinness and Mauro Ranallo. But you got Nigel. He was on commentary with the other two. Came out. Like I said, man, I need story. I just don't want to watch wrestling and it just be a bunch of matches. I'm serious, man. You know, people gonna be mad. I already know. I know whose feathers I'm ruffling, because the hardcore WWE shields now, they gonna take a dump on this regardless, because they hate anything that's connected with AEW. I'm talking from a unbiased standing point based on what I see. Ring of Honor is 2 hours long on TV on the Honor Club app, but I just don't want wrestling matches, because I'm be honest with you, I'm be somewhere laid out. I really am, you know. But because this is a pay-per-view, and unfortunately for me, my Clown Cable product had me miss like the first 10 minutes of Commander versus Vikingo. Shoot. So I missed, we saw the pre-show, but my thing was acting like as if we didn't order the pay-per-view, so it was real stupid. So I came into the Vikingo / Commander match like halfway in, like we missed not a whole bunch, because we seen the majority of the match, but we missed like the first 10 minutes of the match, messing around with them on some real goofy stuff. But like I said, man, I really want to get into the Ring of Honor stuff. I'm glad we have it. It's a rising product. Tony Khan still has a lot of issues that he must figure out. I said, I seen fools basically say Tony Khan is basically in competition against himself. Like, WWE's like nothing to him. I'm like, no. I'm like, bro, I don't want to just see matches. Like I said, I just don't. That's my lingo. My lingo is get me invested. Why are these clowns wrestling each other? And we go from there. Overall, outside of the doggone injury, Ring of Honor SuperCard of Honor 2023 was a solid pay-per-view. It was not a bad pay-per-view. So I don't want nobody to come on here and say, "Oh, I see you hate." No, I'm just telling you from my perspective. I could have done with less matches. Didn't need that stupid spot that happened. And like I said, if I paid more attention to the doggone show on the app, I wish I would have more story, because from the 2 episodes I seen, it was just wrestling matches. That's it. Like, real talk. Like, it was just wrestling matches. Like, I mean, yeah, they was telling somewhat stories and stuff, and there was a couple of swerves because I expected him to win, and I straight up expected him to retain this championship. Those were 2 swerves that I didn't see coming. I'm sorry. I had him getting that ROH championship, the TV title, and I had him keeping this pure Ring of Honor championship. But Tony Khan, again, if I got to give him praise on some things, it's he know how to swerve people. But the thing I need with him is the same product I need when he gives on the Dynamite, on AEW Dynamite. Give us some freaking story, man. If you want me to watch your doggone Ring of Honor app or whatever, I need some freaking story. If it's gonna be 2 hours just full of matches, I'll pass. I'll just let cats that I'm in the group with talk about it, and they just get deride it all day long because that's all they know how to do. I'm just telling you right now. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even without Ring of Honor, without being on the app, last year's was 1,000% better. I think I gave that show like an 8 out of 10. I'm not playing with you. And we didn't even have a Ring of Honor television show. This year, with a Ring of Honor television show, I just feel like it was just decent. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, oh, I'm blown away. I'm going back to rewatch this pay-per-view. Did I get my money's worth? I think $20 would have been perfect. Yeah, it's like I said, man. It's you want them to do well, and I thought majority of the cats on this show did pretty good. And another thing for LA, for people coming from all over the place, I seen some cats that I normally see in the IWC on Twitter. I saw them sitting front row, Amy and her husband. A whole lot of cats was out there. The Grap City cats was out there. Denise was out there. I think Sean was there. So many people was at the show, right? But like I said, man, the crowd, I don't know if it was the mics. I don't know. It just, they was in it, but they weren't in it. And that's another thing. If you want your show to be great, the crowd got to be making noise all day. And I want to say they made noise probably, instead of making noise for like 100% of the show or 90% of the show, I think they made noise probably 60% of the show. So the other 40% of the show, they kind of was acting like this was the WWE crowd or something like that. But I'm trying to think about what I need to say before I get into this review. Yeah, but that unnecessary spot, which we will go over, waste of time. You didn't need all these matches on the doggone pre-show. Like I said, it's too much, man. A solid 10-match show is perfect for you. 2 on the pre-show, and then 10 on 2 on the pre-show, and then 8 on the main card, and then you get time to go over what matches are going to happen on the main show. You get time to showcase storylines that develop in, because that's what we need. I'm not like these fools, like I say, that get off to hardcore. They just get off to a good rest of the match and think that's just going to carry something over. No, that I don't roll like that. I don't roll. Like I said, I'm Casey for wrestling it takes. I love my wrestling, but I need some story to back it up. If you can tell me a great story, you got my money. That's all I'm going to say. We kick out the pre-show. Jeff Cobb takes on Tracy Williams. Jeff Cobb came back after going through that war with Kenny Omega on Dynamite. He handles the business, takes Tracy Williams out, handles the business, and that's that. So we get in. That's when Nigel McGuinness comes out. The crowd goes ham. They go crazy. Then we get Takeshita, and he went against Willie Mack. This was a decent match. Willie Mack just doing the job. Takeshita, he had to win. Takeshita gets the victory. Then we get my main girl, Miss Willow Nightingale. She went against this young lady named Miranda Elise. It was an okay match, but the crowd, I tell you, they was definitely behind Willow. I give him that. So, And my main guy, Stu Grayson, he went against Slim Jim. I said, Stu been losing left and right. I said, Stu got to get a victory. And my main man, Stu, got the victory, and that's what carried over. And soon after the match, we got Dutch and Vincent of the Righteous to come and confront them. They confronted the Dark Order. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a storyline that's going to take off on Ring of Honor television. Hey, all right, good. So we jump right into the action. Show starts. Like I said, I'm 10 minutes off because my cable provider was acting a clown. They was acting like they didn't know what was going on, but then they officially realized that I did order the pay-per-view, but it was a issue on their end. So 10 minutes in, we finally got it to show up. So next thing you know, I came in, I just right off the map, I just seen these clowns just tearing each other up. I mean, flips here, dives here, 630 centers and all of this, and Canadian destroyers. I mean, just running through, hard hitting. The crowd was into it. These cats was tearing each other up, but Vikingo got the victory and he won. Solid, good opener, very good opener. If you don't know who Vikingo is, if you don't know who Commander is, they here to stay. You know what I mean? So like I said, I thought it was pretty good opener for what I got. Then now this matchup. So there was a lot of work going on. Brian Cage just finished for AEW. He gonna pull up to the WWE. He's done. They gonna do the job to Matalik, Blake Christian, and AR Fox. That's all I kept hearing. The NBC is finished. They done. So that's why I'm sitting up thinking like, okay, Blake Griffin, AR Fox, and Matalik is gonna win. No. Brian Cage and them came in there. They handled the business. They did work and they dipped out. Got the heck up out of there and moved on. So then they introduced new tag team titles, and they also introduced a new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship title. We get the ladies. We get Athena. She went against Yaka Sakazuki. And Athena's new gimmick, this psychotic, evil, twisted lady, because that's what her gimmick is. She's a psychotic, evil, twisted woman. That is her gimmick. And Yuka Sakazuki, I remember seeing her in that doggone, it was that challenge thing that they was having for the women to determine who was going to face, I think, was it Nyla Rose at the time who had the championship? But they was having a international championship competition where they was having women come over from Japan and wrestle the girls from Japan, and then the women from America wrestle each other, and then whoever won in Japan would get an opportunity to wrestle the woman in the AEW locker room from America. And that's why I remember seeing Yaka Sakazuki. This was a pretty good match. Athena doing heel work, doing what she got to do. But Sakazuki, she was making her epic comeback, trying to do what she could, but she just wasn't enough. Athena handled the business. She took her out. And now I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like the crowd was mixed on this. I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if they appreciated Athena's heel run, because a lot of people I know said that they are enjoying this thing. Like they feel like she's been rejuvenated ever since she came over to AEW. She's been rejuvenated. She's been able to be herself. She's been able to relax. She's been able to go out here, put on bangers week in and week out, and try to get people to be interested in what her character is. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I think this was the best decision for Athena, because the E wasn't doing nothing with her. She was just going in limbo over there. So Athena gets the victory. She retains her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Like I said, pretty solid match. So we get to this. We get to Reach for the Sky Man, Mark Briscoe, taking on Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Now, my mindset is this. Well, they played the promo. Mark Briscoe, neither Joe Briscoe or Jay Briscoe has never beaten Samoa Joe in singles competition. Never. So when they kept putting that emphasis, and then his whole family with his wife, his mom, his kids, all sitting front row, they automatically, like, your mindset is that, okay, Samoa Joe, he did the job for Warlord. Samoa Joe's going to do the job for Mark Briscoe. And this match started off slow, but after a while, both of them started tearing each other up. Fans got behind it. Fans was making noise. Fans was going crazy. Mark Briscoe thought he had it. Samoa Joe put him in that doggone Khmer clutch. He put Mark Briscoe to sleep, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was legit shocked because I just knew. I said, just Samoa Joe going to do the job for him. Like I said, this Tony Khan, quote-unquote, paying Mark Briscoe back for the situation, terrible situation that happened to his brother, and they're going to go on for that. No. Samoa Joe retained in devious fashion, choked the mess out that man, and he's still sitting here today, your Ring of Honor World Television Champion. So after the match, Mark Briscoe and him, quote unquote, here's the deal. In Ring of Honor, you supposed to shake your opponent's hand even if you can't stand him. And Mark Briscoe and Samoa Joe shook hands, but he immediately took his hand away. So Mark went, hugged his family and all this, and everybody was just sitting up there like, man, like, I just knew Mark Briscoe was going to win this match. I honestly did. I had it booked in like, oh, Mark got this on lock. Nope. Mark lost. And I give Tony Khan, once again, Tony Khan is the master of the swerve when it comes to results. That's one positive that Tony Khan has in his bag, that he is the king of the swerve. When you think somebody is going over, he just pulls the plug, and you be sitting up there like, dang, I didn't know that. But the cats that went in, they did what they had to do. So we get this next matchup. We get Daniel Garcia taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is a very good match. DG, if you notice, he didn't come out to the JAS Society theme. He coming out to his theme by himself. So that's the story that's playing up. That's the story, ladies and gentlemen. Is DG going to officially leave the sports entertainment clown group? We don't know. We're going to find out. I thought him and Tanahashi did okay. They did a pretty solid job, what they was able to work with. DG came up short. Tanahashi wins, and we move on from there. So now, the unfortunate situation. We are in the ladder match, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of was looking forward to this. The Reach for the Sky Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship ladder match. I was looking forward to this. Lucha Bros, Roots and Jalisco, The Kingdom, Top Flight, Ozzy Olsen. I was legit looking forward to this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a ladder match, right? Why are we bringing out tables and chairs? I get chairs, but why are we using tables? If this was a TLC, okay, it would make sense. This was just a regular ladder match. Why are we using tables? You see what I'm saying? All the teams are out there. Everybody doing work. Everybody getting their spots in. Everybody, going to the places where they trying to go, which is try to win them tag team titles. And I kept looking at the table. So there was 4 tables stacked on top of each other outside the ring. And I said, somebody's going through that. I just don't know how they're going through it. But those tables aren't built up for no reason. Somebody is legit going through that. And I was sitting up saying to myself, I said, whoever go through that, I hope they come out unscathed. Oh, my goodness. The spot. Pentagon L0 had Dante Martin, and he did a Canadian Destroyer off the ladder that was connected to the other ladder that was leading out to where the tables were. They did a doggone Canadian Destroyer off of there. Dante came down, and the man's leg completely snapped. His ankle snapped, and you can clearly see that his whole foot was turned the opposite way. And I was actually in this because the Kingdom got busted open. The Aussie Open were doing work. Roosh and Drellisco, everybody was doing work. Darius was looking great. Everybody was doing work. They was having a good time. I said, okay, I'm feeling it. But the spot destroyed every momentum of this match. Like, you can't really remember everything because all you thinking about is that sad injury that happened to Dante, which was avoidable. So, and I feel so bad because Top Flight, it seemed like every time they finna get a major push, one of them get injured. Now, this is the first time that Dante has a severe injury. It was always be Darius. Darius would be tearing his knee. He got into a car accident, so he was out like a year and a half. Meanwhile, Dante was just running it up, putting on good singles matches, getting people to get behind him. That dangerous spot put him out of commission. And now my brother's on the shelf. I pray for a speedy recovery. I pray that the Lord would supernaturally heal him, heal his what's the word I'm looking for? He needs some encouragement. He needs courage, because that's a serious situation, a serious injury. And you need courage to get back out there, because you feel like you've been like, oh man, and just that spot. So they was looking at it, they went away, and next thing you know, Lucha Bros win the tag team titles. I said I don't think they should have. I think Rush and Drellisco should have. I was gonna go with Top Flight, but they got injured, so I said next best bet would be to put the tag team titles on some heels, because now everybody can chase. Now you can chase with Rush and Drellisco. You can have them terrorizing the Ring of Honor tag team division. You know. What a terrible situation. Terrible. The matchup was a very good ladder match, but it just resulted in a terrible, avoidable injury that could have been avoided to the highest order, ladies and gentlemen. And now guess what this does? Again, this goes back to Tony Khan's booking, because it seems like with them doing these at-risk moves and all this stuff, cats could seriously get themselves injured, or the other word, which I won't use. Because wrestling is a dangerous sport. It's a very high risk and remove. Every time you go out there, there's a possibility that anything, like something severe, can happen. That's why you got to be prayed up at all times. Man, like I said, that spot right there, that's all everybody talk about. They not talking about how solid the pay-per-view was. They just talk about this terrible, avoidable spot, because that's all people going to do. So after they won, FTR, Mark Briscoe came out. FTR came out. They all hugged. They embraced the Lucha Bros, and that's that. So then we get the pure Ring of Honor Championship match. We got Katsuyori Shibata. Now, Shibata was not supposed to be able to wrestle like several years ago. I mean, I think he pulled up at Forbidden Door, if I'm not mistaken. He came out there. He went to war with Wheeler Yuta, who's had a surveillance revamp of a career just by associating with the BCC, because he was going nowhere in the Best Friends. Nowhere. Him aligning with John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio was the greatest decision. And at the time, William Regal, greatest decision you'd ever made in his short wrestling career. Pure Ring of Honor rules. They have completely different rules. And these two, they went in there, they did what they had to do. They did it, they handled the business, and I just knew Yuta was going to retain his championship. I just knew it. Shibata wins. Now, you know Shibata is from New Japan. He wins. Ladies and gentlemen, that tells me that Shibata is a future player with AEW, that he ain't going nowhere. So he going to be on Ring of Honor television. So that's good. Like I said, master of the swerve, because I showed to see Shibata win, I had Yuta retaining. So kudos to Tony Khan on doing something right. And then we got to the main event. Claudio versus Eddie Kingston. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This stuff, it started off slow. It started off very slow, because a lot of people want to know what's the whole story. Well, obviously, you know, these two was homeboys. They was apparently roommates from back in the day. But apparently, Claudio went one way while Eddie Kingston went another. And the two of them just weren't seeing eye to eye. He said that man was a complete failure, a waste of time. And that man said, I'm just coming here to take your title. So I want to say the halfway mark of this match is when things started picking up. Claudio legit thought he was going to win. He thought he was going to get out of here with an easy victory. But Eddie Kingston, with as much as he was getting twirled around, getting slammed, getting punched in the face, punched in the neck. I mean, every moveset that you think Claudio's going to do to him, he pulled it off. And Eddie Kingston continually kicked out. and he was doing some of his own moves as well. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Eddie Kingston is the type of wrestler that's more of a he's like one of them big dudes that does wrestling moves but doesn't look like he could wrestle. That's the best way I can describe Eddie Kingston's wrestling style. I don't know what you call that, but that's his wrestling style. And him and Claudio, like I said, it started off slow, but after a while it picked up and the crowd really marked out. They was going in because a lot of fans wanted Eddie to officially get it. Eddie has been losing championship match after championship match for the dang near past 3 to 4 years. And a lot of people are getting tired. A lot of people are so ready for this man to officially get his due. But I already knew. I said, no, it's too early. It's too early. He tried one more time, but Claudio got him, knocked him out, and so he wins. So they get up. He wants him to shake his hand, and that's when you seen Yuta come out the woodwork, and Yuta was looking like he was finna do something to the man. And then that's when Shibata's music went off. He got in the ring with him. He started raising that man's hand, and I'm talking about Shibata. He started raising Eddie Kingston's hand, and then you seen Claudio, and you seen Yuta raising Claudio's hand. So they just kept doing it all day until the segment went off the air. And they said backstage, ladies and gentlemen, backstage was a certain Trinity Star. That's all I'm gonna say about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard it correct. Reported from the man Sean Ross Sapp, she was backstage. Matt Wale Mania, she said for the record, I ain't done, but she's apparently finished with the E. So we'll see. We will see, ladies and gentlemen. So after that, I walked away from this pay-per-view and I said it was a solid pay-per-view, but it ain't topping Revolution. It's just not. As good as this pay-per-view was, the spot screwed up everything. Too many matches on my end. Not so much story as I wanted. They tried to tell a story with some of the matches and everything, but I just walk away. The highest I'm going, though. The highest I'm going is a 7. That's the highest I'm going. I'm giving this pay-per-view a big old C. They did okay, but like I said, I need more story going in the pay-per-view. You know, and when you put the said matches on, I got to be more invested. That's just how I am. I don't need 50 million matches on a freaking card. I'm sorry. But WrestleMania is broken up in 2 nights, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So that's my review for that, 7 out of 10. So we are going to talk about SmackDown. Now, due to, again, my TV not picking it up because we was having severe weather storms out here. They was talking about weather reports, talking about potential wild winds and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, all right, soon as Ring of Honor is over, I'm about to put on SmackDown. We put on SmackDown and we got the first matchup, and then after that, the news just carried over. And I said, dang, so we didn't even take SmackDown. So I really can't even give you a full review on SmackDown, but the promos that I've seen from the Usos and Sammy and Kate and Jimmy and Jay, Legado Fantasma has aligned with Ray, so they going with Latin World Order. And then the promo with Cody and Roman, which the only part I seen was Cody Rhodes trying to quote unquote quote Tupac, and you see clowns and buck dancers and everybody shucking and jiving over that. I'm good. But they had rematches like crazy on the show. I kid you not. They had the men do a fatal, so everybody's partner was 1-on-1, but it was fatal 4-way form, and they did it with the men and the women. I said, why am I trying to see that? Glad I didn't see that. Then they did another matchup, which the Can We Coexist? They had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus Imperium. I don't care, and I know the triple threat gonna be a good match, but I don't care. The Usos, Sammy, Kevin grilled each other. Sammy said the key thing that had Jay lost for words because he knew he was telling the truth about what he said. You know. Let's see. I seen a couple of clips from the Hall of Fame show. Pretty solid. Anything else I need to talk about? Yeah, like I said, Cody he really ain't done nothing. And y'all want them to reward this man with both titles? No. Now, like I said, if he gets rewarded and he wins, I ain't gonna trip. I feel some kind of way about it, but I'm like, it is what it is. So, that's that. That's SmackDown. So let's go over Rampage now. Rampage. Let's talk about it. Give me 1 second. Here. Rampage. All right. So, Rampage, I probably would have got rid of. This matchup, but you knew why they had to have it, because they had to have at least one lady match on the show. The promos that I liked on this show was Swerve and Keith Lee. I thought they had the best promo on the whole show. Promo work is great, but again, we need a little bit more story. Action and Juice, it's all right. Sammy and Takeshita, all right. I think this was the best match on the show. The Kings of the Black Throne versus the Best Friends, but we needed some story. Now, here's the deal. Throughout the entire match, you did not see OC. And Buddy Murphy, he didn't come out until OC came trying to save the day. It wasn't worth it. House of Black win, and they stood over the Best Friends' lifeless bodies as if they, and not just that, they stood over OC, and that's that. So I don't know if they're going to try to run a program with them. Maybe that's the next program. Maybe that's the next Trios Championship program. This matchup, now there's been a lot of talk about Marina Shafir improving in the ring. I still need to see a little bit more Ty Valkyrie handling the business. Now, you had the young lady that was originally in NWA Empowerment or Power. I think her name was Tootie Lynn. I didn't recognize that she was the lawyer girl that was hanging out with Smart Mark, Layla Gray, and Jade. And as Ted did the move, she did the same move set again. And they said, here, you're being summoned. So they gave her the summons. And Tootie didn't escape. Taya did the doggone move. So Jade had enough. She said, I'm tired of this girl doing my doggone finisher. So she tried to run down there, but they held her off. So they just going to keep this thing going. Let me see before we get to the main event, which is Action Andrade and those two. Yeah, like I said, I just need a little bit more story, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, it's so freaking late. I just need more. Okay, during this matchup, you saw Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and you seen Darby Allin. And I'm sitting up asking myself, where the heck is MJF? He's the champ. He should be watching too. I know he doesn't want to come to Rampage, but the more you come to Rampage, the more Rampage feels important. If your company champion pulls up to AEW Rampage, the show's going to feel more important. That's all we ask, man. Like I said, not too much. Like I said, these tape episodes just don't do it for me. They just don't. But ladies and gentlemen, I believe I covered everything. I said what I had to say about Rampage. I said what I had to say about Ring of Honor. SmackDown, it is what it is. Was it better than Raw? Absolutely. From what I seen, the clips that I seen, But we off to the fences, ladies and gentlemen. It's WrestleMania Day. Like I said, I'm starting off with the NXT Stand and Deliver pay-per-view. I will do that one first. And then as soon as I'm finished, I'm going right into WrestleMania Night 1 results. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. I'd have been on here too long. I'm dozing off as I'm talking to you guys. I appreciate all the newcomers. We had 218. I thank y'all so much. We're going to keep growing the nation. We're going to keep sparking. We're going to keep putting out the excellent, good content and talk to you as if you got a dang cent in your mind, as if you smart. I don't talk to clowns that have absolutely no being and no sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's my review, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you cats later tonight for all festivities that's taking place in WWE land. I'll let you boy.